He was quick. He could run patterns. When he got the ball, he could cut without stopping, which made him incredible.
Those abilities were on display from the moment Tim Brown stepped onto an NFL field. His rookie record for most combined yards still stands, but his game-changing impact went beyond simply stats.
He could take a simple punt and get 30 yards out of it. He could take a simple punt and return it all the way for a touchdown.
A 56-yard return by Mr. Everything, Timothy Brown.
He wasn't always looking to take it to the house, but if he could get 15 yards when he caught the punt, then it put his team in a better position.
Tim Brown with a spectacular move on the open field.
He talked about at one point that he had the ability to see the whole field and see what was going on. So you have to include the vision as well. So if you team up his pass catching ability, his speed, his ability to cut, and the fact that he could see the whole field, I think made him an incredible receiver.
On December 2nd, 2002, his greatness as a receiver culminated in a legendary milestone.
That's 1,000 catches for Tim Brown.
It was an incredible family moment. Tim is a family man, and everything he has done is to celebrate family. And for us to be able to celebrate it in that manner was an incredible day.
His was a career of many incredible days. 17 NFL seasons, 9 Pro Bowls, ranking in the all-time top 10 in catches, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns.
What makes Tim a Hall of Famer is the fact that he has demonstrated absolute consistency down through the years. He has been a producer. He was someone that his team relied on, and he was someone that the other team knew that in order for them to win that game, they had to find a way to stop Tim Brown.
Into the corner of the end zone for Tim Brown. Touchdown Raiders!
I am honored to present my brother, Tim Brown, for enshrinement into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Tim Brown for enshrinement into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Donald Kelly.
I know we may be outnumbered, but I need to hear it. Raiders! 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 Man, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Now, I know Jerome is coming up and he's going to blow the house out, but I had to get that in. Oh, boy. You know, I say to my kids every morning when I wake them up, this is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. And certainly this is a joyous occasion. You know, this is an honor you just can't even think about. I mean, you play great football, but you don't ever look at yourself as being somebody who could be in the Hall of Fame. So I'm going to enjoy this honor, but on Monday, I'm going to really be able to enjoy this honor. It's been a lot of work, but it's been incredible work, and I can't wait to enjoy this for the rest of my life. Now, I'm not a preacher, but I have preacher tendencies. So, I mean, there are some things that I may want to say, but I'm not going to say them. I mean, it may be a good time for you guys to say things like, won't he do it? Or look at God, or something like, but I'm not going to say it because I don't want to start preaching up here. But just hang in here with me, and let's see how this happens. You know, when I first had the opportunity to put on this gold jacket, I didn't know who the maker of the jacket was. And when I saw that name, it almost brought me to tears. Simply because this man has been an incredible part of my life for the last 31, 32 years before he passed away a couple years ago. The name that's on the inside of this jacket is Hager. And his family is here tonight. Lydia Novikov, his daughter's here. Dan Novikov, his son-in-law, is here. Daniel and Isabel. This family has been an incredible positive force in my life. And I just wanted to say thank you guys for all that you've done. And you guys know I love you. The power of positive people. It's amazing when you have positive people in your life, what can happen. You know, for me growing up, you know, having, you know, my mom and dad and my family be the family that they were to me, always treated me like Timmy and not Tim Brown. Now, I don't want to start talking about what my big sister did to me because, you know, they may still be able to prosecute her for some of that stuff. But it made me into the man that I am today. You know, my story may be implausible to some, it may be improbable, simply because things happened in my life that without those things happening at the exact time, this wouldn't have happened. You know, when I was 6 months old, I had a little accident, ended up getting infected and ended up going to the hospital. And they were talking about doing a tracheotomy on me and really doing some serious surgery. My mom, my grandfather, and my uncle, they prayed. The doctor gave me medicine. 2 hours later, you know, I was doing fine. And my mom said from that day on that she thought that God had something special for me. I don't know if she thought it was this special, but she knew that God had something special for me. You know, I started playing this great game on the playgrounds of Mount Auburn Elementary in Dallas, Texas, and went on to continue playing at J.L. Long Buccaneers. I started with the Buccaneers and I ended with the Buccaneers. But really where I learned how to play this game was on the streets of Culver. Now, if you can imagine this, there's a concrete street and there are two sides, and on each side there was a patch of grass. So we used to call it throw up football. You throw the ball up, whoever gets it, you get the run. Well, if you got on the sideline though, you got tackled. So thinking that, you know, you can grab a ball and run down the sideline and tackle the guy and land on the grass was not the smartest thing in the world. And it is the reason why I have all of these scars and all this. All this happened way before I got into playing real football. But it's because I learned how to juke and dodge guys and stay away from them sidelines. You know, I knew I had great ability and had the ability to make people miss, but we were losing football games. So I said to myself, all this talent must not be that good because we'd be winning football games. When I got to Woodrow Wilson High School, it seemed as if, where's my Wildcats at? Where you at, Wildcats? All right. When I got to Woodrow, it seemed like I got faster and the moves got better, but the losing increased. In my 3 years on varsity, I was 4-25-1. And I'm very proud of that one because we worked very hard for that one. You know, the only team we beat every year was Skyline, who was our rival team. And this is where the story starts to become a little improbable. We were playing Skyline my junior year, and the University of Notre Dame came to recruit one of the Skyline's players. They didn't know anything about me. On that particular night, I had a kickoff return for a touchdown, I had a punt return for a touchdown, I had a long punt for a long pass for a touchdown, and I had a long run for a touchdown. Now, that was a great night. Now, if Notre Dame would have came the week before, I scored one touchdown. If they would have came the week afterwards, I didn't score at all. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I need. A little insert right there. In 27 years of playing football, The only time I played, I scored 4 touchdowns was when Notre Dame came to recruit somebody else. That's a good time to say, but God. Oh, won't he do it? After I got a letter from ND, the letter started to pour in. And we did something that's pretty unusual. We chose the University of Notre Dame not because we thought that we could win a championship, but because we thought it can give me a great education. And that decision was the toughest decision I ever made in my life. I was a mama's boy. I wanted to stay in Texas and play football. A lot of things were going on in Texas at that time. But my big brother Don, he knew a lot about Notre Dame football, knew about the educational background, and we made the tough decision to go to the University of Notre Dame. And, when I got there, I wanted to prove to everybody that it was about education. So my very first game, my Notre Dame people are laughing. My very first game in the Notre Dame uniform, my freshman year, the opening play of the game, I fumbled the opening kickoff. So I told everybody, hey, I told you I was coming here for education, so let's just keep moving on. Through my sophomore year, things were going okay. I was playing a little bit. I was on time to graduate, which was the most important thing, and life was just moving on. I didn't know. I thought this was how big-time college football went. This is how it happens. This is the way. You don't play that much. You play a little bit, and you just keep moving on. Well, the coaching staff was fired after that year, and in comes this little 5'8" guy wearing glasses, talks a little funny. He put us through winter ball workouts 5 o'clock in the morning because we all had 8 a.m. classes. I would say something about that to one of my guys in there, but I'm a rookie and I can't say anything to these guys yet. And after 2 days of being in spring ball, once we got in pads, he pulled me over and asked me a litany of questions as far as why wasn't I playing more? Did I get in trouble? Was it grades? Was I on drugs? He was asking me all kinds of questions. I said, no, coach, they just didn't play me. And he told me that he thought I could be the best player in the country. I thought this guy lost his mind. I said, you been watching my film or whose film have you been watching? Day after day, he would bring me in his office and show me what I was doing on the practice field. Show me what I was doing against defenses and doing things that he hadn't asked me to do. And finally, he said that he told the media that I was the most intelligent football player that he had ever coached.